Once upon a time, there was a small island of boatmen and fishermen ruled by King Mandarin. The people of this kingdom might have been the happiest people in the world, but for one big enemy.
The boat! This cannot be! It is the prince in the castle below the sea! What does he gain by troubling us so? Quick, paddle to the shore! Fast! Looks like my net has caught a really huge fish! What is this? Save us! It is one of the wicked Water Prince's monsters again! In the past week, the Water Prince has attacked our boats 5 times, Your Highness.
Your Highness, all our attempts at finding him and fighting him have failed.
Don't worry, Father. I shall find him and fight him. I shall read all the books on his magic, and when I grow up, I will avenge all the trouble he has put our people through.
The little prince was so determined to fight and defeat the wicked Water Prince that the Water Prince started getting scared. A few days later, the little prince was out boating at sea. That is when the Water Prince created such a ripple in the water that the prince's boat sunk. While he allowed the other little boys to swim up to the surface of the water, he held on tightly to the prince and dragged him to his palace. The entire kingdom was horrified to know of their prince being kidnapped. Everyone was sunk in despair.
Is it how it is always going to be? We shall suffer for no fault of ours at the hands of that wicked Water Prince.
We have never done any harm to him. All we want is to live peacefully on our beautiful island. Why does the Water Prince enjoy hurting us so?
It is his fear, for he really thought that the prince will grow up and defeat him.
Which means there definitely is a way to defeat the Water Prince, Uncle.
How do you always manage to be so positive, Merlina? Who will find a way to defeat the wicked Water Prince?
I wish I could, but don't worry, Uncle. Nature always finds a way to help those who have never harmed anyone. And even the Water Prince is not all that evil.
How can you say that, Merlina, after all that he has done?
Well, all he has done is upturn our boats and scare us with his monsters. But he has never harmed us in any bad way. I mean, we island people have been so used to water that we can remain inside water for hours like fishes. So, whatever the Water Prince does only scares us or troubles us, but it does not really hurt us or harm us in any way. I am sure that even our prince is safe with him. I think the Water Prince is only lonely. I wish we could just find him and talk to him.
Only Merlina can see good in the wicked Water Prince. Truly, your sense of compassion is unmatched.
The chief wise man of the kingdom had locked himself up in his cave. He was poring over all the texts and books of magic to find a way to defeat the wicked Water Prince. He found the answer. He got out of his cave and, without speaking a word to anyone, headed out to where Merlina stayed. The chief wise man reached Merlina's home. Her father, boatman Revan, was there. Revan was shocked to see the chief wise man himself at his door.
The chief wise man himself. Come in, sir. What can I possibly do for you, sir?
I want to talk to you about your daughter, Merlina. I need her to rescue our prince.
Well, she is just a little girl, sir. How will she find the palace of the wicked Water Prince when even the king's army could not?
I have been studying the legends of the Water Prince for a long time. The prince lives in the energy of fear and sadism, and we need a person like your daughter to defeat him.
I do not understand.
Let me ask you 3 things about your daughter. 1. Has Merlina ever hurt any creature?
Never. I don't think there is a single man, woman, child, plant, or animal who could ever say that my Merlina has hurt any of them. In fact, she thinks that even the Water Prince is not wicked, but rather only scared and lonely.
Excellent! Question 2. Does Merlina believe in the power of goodness and hope?
Oh yes, she always says that nature always helps anyone who does not harm others. In fact, she is certain that there is a way to get our prince back.
Perfect! And question 3. Have you ever known Merlina to be scared?
I don't think so, because she trusts nature and people. She is never afraid of anything. Plus, she always speaks the truth, so she has nothing to be afraid about.
Call her.
Very well. Merlina! Merlina! Come here, child.
Yes, Father. Oh, good day, sir.
Good day, Merlina. Will you go and rescue our little prince?
Sir, that would be an honor.
But the wicked Water Prince is there under the sea.
If the Water Prince really wanted to hurt us, he would have done so in more devastating ways. I truly believe that he is only scared and lonely. Plus, what is there to be afraid of? I know the sea, and the creatures within it are my friends.
Oh, so that settles it. You will have to go and bring our prince back.
Sure, sir. Oh, but how?
That I do not know. But once you are in the water, your compassion, goodness, and fearlessness will show you the way.
So, the next day, the entire kingdom stood on the beach as Merlina fearlessly dived into the sea to find their little prince. Soon, she reached the palace of the Water Prince. The first gate of the palace was made of stones and was guarded by 2 giants. They saw Merlina and stopped her.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
I am Merlina, and I come from the island kingdom above. I have come here to rescue our prince.
Merlina would never speak anything but the truth, but the giants could not believe that the Island King would send a little girl to rescue his precious son. Nor did they think that when the Island King's armies had failed, a little girl could harm their Water Prince in any way. So they laughed and let her pass. The next gate was a huge bubble of water. Merlina could now see the palace through it. The palace was as though made of bubbles of water, only those bubbles were in the shape of long walls, tall towers, and pillars, protected by the bubble gate. As soon as Merlina touched it, the bubble swallowed her. Anyone would have been scared to be trapped inside the bubble, but Merlina's faith was unmoved.
Water and its bubbles are made by nature, and nature always helps those who never harm anyone.
As soon as Merlina said these words with all the faith and conviction in her heart, the bubble around her burst, and with the bubble, the entire palace too started imploding. The Water Prince was terrified to see the towers and pillars of his palace implode. Merlina swam to where he was. The Water Prince started to escape. He had never thought that his magical palace would be destroyed, that too past his giants, by a little girl. But before he could escape, Merlina called out to him kindly.
Water Prince, please do not run away. We can be friends, you know.
Friends? Aren't you scared of me?
Right now, I think you are scared of me. But I know you are not evil. If you had really meant any harm, you would have hurt our prince.
You think I am not evil, even after the way I troubled your people?
I think you are just lonely, right? You want some friends?
But who will be friends with me? Everyone thinks I am wicked.
Come with me. See the beautiful world above. Nobody on the island will hurt you. I promise.
Nobody has ever tried to understand the reason why I behave the way I do. You are the first person to extend the hand of kindness towards me.
See, if someone troubles you, there is a good chance that they're just lonely and don't know how to be friends. Try reaching out to them, just as Merlina reached out to the Water Prince, and just as Merlina had faith that Mother Nature would always help the person who never harms anyone and that made her fearless. Have faith that if you are good, eventually good things will happen to you too. Try to understand the reason why a person behaves a certain way, rather than hating on them or being afraid. The world needs people who can understand, rather than judge and fight.